everybody, this is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, real estate from a marketing perspective. And I'm kind of excited because of the guest that I have today, but at the same time, this is a milestone for me. This is episode number 30.
Woo woo.
Yeah, so number 30. So, and I have a friend on the podcast today, and I have probably the youngest, most successful entrepreneurs you'll ever meet on the podcast later. So, but I always got to start off by saying that I couldn't do this podcast if it wasn't for my support staff, which is Jennifer Smitis, the area vice president, Caitlin Korner, Devin, escrow officers in Sugar Land, and Wendy Santana and Adriana Alzate, which is my Spanish-speaking escrow officer in the Richmond office. So if you need title services and you're not using Stewart Title, I don't know what to tell you. You should be. Also, if you want to be on the podcast and you're a real estate agent that operates in the Fort Bend County area or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area, I'd love to have you on the podcast. Give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com, and we'll put you on the calendar. So in saying that, the time of this recording of this podcast, it's December 1st, 2023, so we're headed towards Christmas and the end of the year, and everybody I knows who this is. So this is Shannon Geer. She is a very experienced real estate agent that I've been working off and on with in property management and real estate for about 8 years now. And the reason why we reconnected was she is actually now a member of Remax Fine Properties.
I am.
So why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do and who you are.
So like Kevin said, my name is Shannon Geer. I am a real estate agent and an operations manager for a small team out of Remax Fine Properties, the Moore Wallace Group. Yes.
Okay. Say that again.
Moore Wallace Group.
Moore Wallace Group. Okay.
So right now we are a 3-person team, and we'll be looking to grow in 2024, adding agents that want to come alongside us and learn our processes and systems and grow their business with us.
So since you said that, I want this to be about you, but first, let's talk to him for just a minute about Nimesh Patel and the value they would get if they came to Remax Fine Properties.
Yeah. I've been at lots of real estate agencies and lots of brokerages. I say lots, 3 or 4 in the last 10 years, which may be not lots to some of you.
In the real estate industry, that's a lot.
Actually,
maybe not so much.
Maybe not so much. Some people jump at 3 or 4 in a year. But in the last 10 years, I have done that. I have started out with a very small boutique firm. I went on to Empire, worked with Kevin there. And while at Empire, I ended up running our real estate division. So I know what it takes to be a good brokerage and what it takes to bring value and have something that makes an agent want to be with you, and something that you feel like you're getting back from that brokerage rather than just giving them your money. Mm-hmm. And I left there Empire when it closed and was purchased by another company.
Yeah, they sold it. Yeah,
out of California, and I've been with the Remax brand since then. And so for me, what does Nimesh bring? He's the largest Remax in the state, but beyond that, he has intentional care for every agent that works in his office. I don't care if you are brand new or if you are a top producer. He knows who you are, and he gives you time, and he dedicates himself to your growth and your potential.
Yeah, what impresses me about him is that, and as you know, I've been in every brokerage in this entire city. He's the only broker owner that will either hug you or fist bump you when you walk in the door.
Yep.
Every time when you walk in the door.
Every time.
And it's just he cares. I mean, he's glad you're there, which is hugely different. So, like she said, if they're looking to grow, your team's looking to grow. So, if you're looking for a brokerage that will help you reach your goals and make you feel like family, contact
Remax Fine Properties.
Yeah.
Or give me a call, because we definitely are looking for agents in the new year.
Yeah.
And I'm easy to find. I'm the only purple-haired agent in Houston. And if there's somebody else, we'll talk. I had it first.
Yeah. Give him your phone number.
713-851-3423.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about Shannon. So,
Sure.
Why did you decide to get into real estate?
Well, I went into it a very roundabout manner. I was 45 years old and newly divorced and wanted to figure out something to do besides accounting, which is what I had done for the majority of my career. I'd done accounting, marketing, and management. And I didn't want to be stuck behind a desk and not interacting with people. And so real estate for me was one of the things that in running that small business that I ran for my ex-husband's family, I loved the real estate piece of it. I loved the funding of the properties, and I loved the whole process. I loved the legal piece of it. I'm one of those nerds who likes, I like reading legal contracts. So, that's just who I am as a person. So for me, that was really important. But then also the opportunity to help people grow generational wealth. That is just... that's at my core for what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to help a family find a property and then look 20 years later at what they built because of the equity that they have in that home.
Yeah, because when you buy a home, it's not just your home; it's also an investment.
It is your biggest single investment.
If you take care of it, it could be part of, if not your retirement, depending on the size of the home. So, and I'm surprised too at the values of homes nowadays. I mean. So you knew me right after I bought my home in Pearland, which is 1,200 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath. It's basically a starter home.
Yep. I
paid $91,000 for it in 2004. I can get $250,000 for it now.
Yeah.
My house is not worth $250,000
in your mind, but it is.
Well, it is, but it's like
that's what it's crazy, Kevin. The houses that I was helping our investors buy when we were with the property management firm were $90,000 to $110,000, and that was a very good single family home, 1,500 square feet, nice single family home that our investors could, use as rental property. And now those same single family homes are over $300,000. To be able to find a starter home now, you really, if it's in livable state, you really need $275,000.
I was going to say 300, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so tell everybody what kind of real estate agent you are. What is it what service do you offer? Are you a listing agent, buying agent, leasing agent, investor's agent, all of the above? What do you like to do?
I do a little bit of everything. Investors have a very special place in my heart.
Of course.
Because of my history working with investors, but also because for them it's a business decision. And I have a very analytical brain, and for me, it does come down to dollars and cents and whether it makes a good financial decision. I want somebody to be happy in their home, but I also want to know that 2 or 3 years from now, they can still afford their home.
Yes.
And I want to know that it's going to be a good investment and it's going to grow with them.
Yeah, and when you say afford their home, taxes and insurance goes up every year.
It does every year. So just because you can afford that home this year doesn't mean that next year it's going to be as easy. And
well, I agree with that because I had the same conversation with my daughter because she just got married in March and they bought their first home in Lake City, and she came to me for everything. And obviously did the exact opposite of what I advised her to do, and ended up in a home with a $2,500 a month payment. And I said, you do realize that that's going to be $2,700, $2,800, $2,900, $3,000 the next 2 or 3 years. She's like, well, why? I said, because taxes and insurance goes up every year. She was like, what are we going to do? I'm like, I don't know. You already signed it. You moved in. It's your house. But that kind of thing.
You've got to figure out a way to make up that gap.
Now, we did get some legislation this year that actually lowered everybody's homestead taxes, which is the first relief we've had in a very long time. But even though we took us 2 steps back on what they're charging us, in the next 2 or 3 years, it's going to go right back up to where it was. So it still goes up every
because
year.
of appreciation.
Yeah, it still goes up every year.
We live in a market that appreciates, and we're blessed because of that. But we live in that market that appreciates because Houston was so undervalued for so long. Yeah.
So we should be not a California or New York, but somewhere in between. You know
yes,
what I'm saying?
Because of our size and because of all of the industry that's here. Houston's a great value for people. It truly is.
Everything's here.
Yep.
People say we're the fourth largest city in the world. I don't believe them. I think we're the third.
I think we are too.
I think we're the third. They just won't change the statistics on the book. So,
yeah. But beyond working with investors, I love helping first-time home buyers. I, had the pleasure recently of helping a really wonderful family of first-time home buyers, and it just reinvigorated my love for seeing that process through new eyes. Typically, I've worked with sellers. That's been my niche market, investors and sellers, but first-time home buyers and move-up buyers. I really like all of it. I don't dally in a lot of commercial. That would be one area that I probably don't do a lot of.
It's got to be satisfying to help someone that truly is looking for their first or dream home, and you helping them with that.
It hits different.
Mm-hmm.
It really just does. It hits
like,
all the feelings different.
It's kind of like when an agent that I'm helping with their marketing comes to me and goes, Kevin, I got a lead from what you were showing me.
Exactly.
So that's what it does.
When that brand new agent or that agent that you're just working with gets their first deal, and you're like, oh, yeah, it's the same feeling.
Yeah. I'm assuming that you pretty much will operate in the Houston area and surrounding, but
Greater Houston area.
So what does that mean?
I go from Willis to Texas City to Baytown to Rosenberg. I cover it.
That's covering it.
That's what it means to be an agent, in my opinion.
Willis is beyond Conroe, so that's pretty far up there.
Yeah, but that's what it takes.
And if I was in Texas City, I'd be like, well, if you're going to go to Texas City, why don't you go to Galveston? It's only 10 minutes farther.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And, you do get to have some good seafood when you get down there.
There you go. Exactly.
Being a South Texas girl, I grew up in Corpus Christi. I got to get to the coast every time I can.
There you go. How long have you been an agent?
10 years.
10 years.
Yep.
So is there anything from your experience that you would like to tell anybody that is thinking about becoming a real estate agent about their possible next decision or career path?
Certainly. It's not what it looks like on HGTV.
No, it's not.
Don't watch HGTV and think it's so simple. You just show 3 houses and you get a contract. It's not like that. But it is extremely rewarding. The single most important thing that I can say is you need good core support from family, because you're going to be gone a lot. You're going to be working late hours. You're going to be working weekends. You need to have somebody that has your back, that understands that, yes, you have a job, but your job is not a 9 to 5, and it's not a Monday through Friday. You'll probably work 7 days a week, and you'll probably work 10 or 12 hours a day, and you're going to work a lot and not get paid.
You got to remember, a lot of real estate agents don't realize this. You're running your own business.
You are.
And if you don't put 120% into your business, you can't expect to get anything out of it.
That's exactly right. You're the only one responsible for you making money.
Yeah. So, brokerages are great. They guide you. They give you support as far as keeping you out of trouble and teaching you how to write a contract, and even with a mentor and stuff. But if you really think that you can become an agent and then you can the referrals are going to start pouring in, you got another thing coming. You have to treat it like a business.
Yep.
You have to create a marketing platform. You have to you have to do something to promote your service in your company, which I know you've been doing for quite a while.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So
social media is not my best friend, but it's a necessary evil.
Yeah, social media is, I kind of like to liken it to car salesmen, lawyers, and dentists.
Yes.
We hate them, but we have to go see them.
But we have to do it. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's just part of life.
So,
the other thing I would say is it would be really, really, really ideal to have about 6 months worth of savings to be able to sustain you, because it's going to take a while to get your first transaction. So if you're really thinking about becoming a real estate agent, do not take what I'm saying as a negative that, you just can't do it. It is doable. It's doable all day long. Just make sure you have some reserves to carry you over. Don't expect your first deal within the first month, and make sure you have a good support system. And then find a good brokerage.
Yeah, if you think about it, every business that starts up from scratch doesn't make money in the first 6 months to a year either.
They need
so
a good nest egg,
they
yes.
get it. So why would you think it'd be any different becoming a real estate agent?
People don't think we're becoming a business.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm not going to go into it again, but that's the problem.
That's exactly it. They don't think they're opening a business. They think they're just doing something that gives them flexibility to be able to work when they want to.
Yep. So what are some of the things that you do to market your business?
Social media, I do a lot of social media. I also have different platforms doing targeted advertising for me and things like that, just to make sure that my name is out there.
Do you go to networking events?
Yes, yeah, I do networking events too, to meet other people in the industry and work with other people in the industry as well.
Do you have your own website?
I do.
Nice.
Yes,
okay.
ShannonGeer.com.
There you go. That was easy. So she's got several things. So, I kind of get really deep into things that you can do on social media and on your website and things like that. So, and you know what those are.
Oh yeah.
Google My Business page, doing video. You got to get yourself out there. If Google's the number one search engine on the planet and YouTube is the number 2, and you want to get yourself out there, then you must be on both of them.
Yes, and our team is. Houston Local Guide is our YouTube channel, and we're very, very active on YouTube.
There you go. So there's lots of things you have to do. You can't be scared of the microphone. You can't be scared of the camera. You have to get yourself out there. My biggest pet peeve about agents, and not you because I know you, but they usually are worried about what everybody thinks.
Oh, yes.
Don't. Nobody's responsible for putting food on your table and paying your bills. So do you the way you want to do it. Brand yourself, market yourself. And if anybody says anything about it, it's usually not because it's bad. It's because they're jealous.
Well, and you may not appeal to Joe, but you might appeal to John.
Right.
You're going to appeal to someone. Just because you don't appeal to the first person who watches that video or the first person who sees the ad that you promote doesn't mean that the next person isn't going to like it. Your person is out there. Keep being you and appeal to the people who want to work with you. Don't try to be someone else, because in the end, it's not going to work for you.
That's why I teach creating a brand with your own persona and your own, everything about you as part of your business. And so there's millions of possible real estate clients in the city of Houston and surrounding area. You can't help every one of them. So find out which ones you can help.
Yep.
And grow off of that. So on that note, if anybody needs a real estate agent and would like to talk to you, what's your phone number? What's your email? What's your website? All that good stuff.
My phone number is 713-851-3423. Email Shannon, SHANNON, the letter MGEER @gmail.com. And yes, that's GEER, beer, but with a G.
And then you have a website?
Yes, Shannon.Geer @Remax.com.
Okay. And then what social media platforms are you on?
Facebook, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, Twitter. I don't really do TikTok, and then we are on YouTube.
Okay, YouTube, yeah. Awesome. So if you guys need a purple-haired real estate agent that has a great personality and 10 years of experience, they can help you with buying, selling, investing, or leasing anywhere in the city of Houston, pretty much. She will be more than happy to, and she might even help you in Galveston. You might have to buy her dinner or something. Or
I might make you a sugar-free cheesecake.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't bring one today, but you'll have one before Christmas.
She makes a mean sugar-free cheesecake, dude. I'm serious. We were at the Remax Thanksgiving lunch.
Potluck thing, yep.
There was 2 miles of food. Her cheesecake was the best one on the table. Swear to God.
Yeah, I know Kevin. I know the way to Kevin's heart. Sugar-free cheesecake.
Well, she knows I like sweets, but she also knows I'm diabetic. So, phone number one more time.
713-851-3423.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you, Kevin.
Now that you're over here at Remax Fine Properties.
Yep.
I'm going to definitely put you on the calendar again for next year.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with segment number 2 of episode 30 of Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from Marketing Perspectives with the youngest entrepreneurs you will ever meet. Be right back. Hey, everybody, this is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. This is segment number 2 of episode number 30. And after that little faux pas, I would like to introduce you guys to the youngest entrepreneurs I know, very successful just in a real short amount of time. Tell everybody who you are and what you guys do.
Hi guys, my name's Adrian and this is my brother Christopher, and we are the owners of Mktg Moving. It is a local moving company here in Houston, Texas, and we are based out of Katy, and we serve all of Texas and anyone moving into Texas from out of state as well.
Awesome. So I met these guys a couple months back. They reached out to me through Instagram because they saw my marketing and wanted to be part of what I was doing. And we had a meeting, and their story really impressed me, because it kind of reminded me of me when I was their age. So why don't you tell them, you own a moving company, but tell them why and how you got into wanting to own a moving company.
Yeah, so I can go into that a little bit. So we started this business about 2 years ago, and to be frank with y'all, the main and only reason we did start it was because I was working at U-Haul at the time, and a different moving company owner, he came to me, approached me with a job offer. I accepted, and within a couple weeks, I asked if I could bring my brother along. He said yes, and then within a couple of weeks after that, we soon together realized that, hey, we could do this a bit better. The quality of service isn't necessarily where we feel it could be, and we're also always receiving complaints as far as the communication, like with showing up on time, stuff like that. And every time it was a time issue, we would never be informed. So it was always just the biggest thing was communication. And we got to learn that was a huge factor. Yeah, a huge factor in the moving industry. And as far as customers' perception of a moving company, that was probably the biggest factor that we could see. So we felt, hey, we could definitely do this better. We know we could do it better. So we kind of set our sights out on figuring out how he was getting these jobs. And because I worked at U-Haul, I kind of had an idea of what he could be using. And I did figure out that is the platform he was using. We then signed ourselves up. Within a week, we had almost a whole month booked up because we started offering the cheapest price we could.
Right.
And within a week or so, we had a whole month booked up. So we're like, you know what? We can definitely try this out. Mm-hmm. We literally quit our jobs, and just with blind faith, crazy or not, it's definitely worked out, and I don't have any regrets. Mm-hmm. But yeah, within, like he said, well, in the previous attempt, my brother did.
Don't tell him what just happened.
We mentioned that literally we had high hopes, but it exceeded our expectations, and since then the growth has been steady. And I'll let him go into a little bit of like how the growth has managed and what is kind of a telltale sign as far as like you said earlier, the platforms we're using, how we grow our business or how we get our business.
So do you want me to go into that, or do you?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So yeah, basically so we've been in business for almost 2.5 years now, and basically the first 12 months while we were in business, we were simply relying on one platform and one way of getting leads basically. We weren't even worried about if the customer knew the name of our business by the time we left the job or not. We were simply worried about getting money. We were, I guess you can say, self-employed. We were working as self-employed and not as business owners. We weren't seeing the.
You were working in your business, not on your business.
Exactly, and we weren't worried about the long-term effects of what we were doing now.
Yeah.
After about 12 months of that, we saw the outcome that it was giving us, and the outcome that it was giving was nothing different from when we started, which was the only way you're going to get jobs is if this third-party app or platform decides to give you these jobs, or the customers pick you from there. So we basically decided to change our mindset and how we went about advertising ourselves and putting ourselves out there, whether it was before, after, or during a job. And that simply was to put yourself out there every way you can through social media and through having a website in your own platform rather than relying on a third-party platform. Mm-hmm. And that has been the biggest pivot since the beginning of us starting this business, from our perspective, from an insider's perspective.
Yeah, it's marketing. You're getting yourself out there. You're doing the things to get people to notice that you're out there. Tell everybody where you will help customers where you operate your business, where you won't operate your business, and what they get for the service that they hire you for moving.
Yeah, so we are based out of Katy, Texas. We serve all of Houston, Texas, as well as all of surrounding areas in Texas. And we frequently work with real estate agents that have customers that are sometimes moving from out of state into Texas. They're relocating, whether it's for work or whatever the reason may be. We do also offer relocation into the state of Texas. However, we do not move out of the state of Texas because we are only based in this state.
Right.
We don't have locations outside of the state, so it doesn't really make sense for us.
Yeah, they're not a franchise. They're a sole subsidiary. They run their own company. Made Easy Moving is one location, period,
Yep.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you also have other things that your company does, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do.
I think you mentioned pressure washing and window cleaning, things like
I
that.
can go into a little bit of that and like our extra services.
Yeah.
So besides our core service, our local and long distance moving, we do also provide packing services. That's going to be our core services on the moving side. We also have a home services side of things where we do offer pressure washing, home cleaning, as well as window cleaning. And for the pressure washing, that goes for your cement driveways, sidewalks, as well as your siding of your houses. So we do home and driveway pressure washing.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't only just do moving. Now, you guys are the movers, right?
We are.
So if I hire you,
Yes, sir.
you're not going to be sending out a crew while you guys are sitting. You guys actually do the work.
Right. I
We
mean,
do.
if you live in a mansion, then we will come with some workers, but you will see us as well. But
Yes,
if
sir.
you have a normal sized house, it will be us too showing up and doing
Nice,
the work. Yes,
nice.
sir.
And the reason that your pricing is so competitive and good is because you don't have overhead. You don't own your own trucks. You don't have a big office building with a logo on the front of it and all that stuff. So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
that's good. That's good to know. Let's talk about one of the things that I noticed about you guys was your website. Who put together your website?
Well, we both did. We kind of just it's off a template. It's based on GoDaddy.
Right.
It's a template, but we kind of did a little bit of research, and we're near where we need to be with the research. But we have a basis and a good idea as far as like keywords, what content needs to look like, what kind of content people are looking for. And with that, we were able to put together the website in a way that we felt was proactive as well as interactive, to where people can feel like they're not just on any moving company's website. They have something to remember us by.
It's not an information. It's not just an informational tool. It's also a sales tool.
It is. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So, what are some of the things that people that need a moving company should either ask moving companies when they're trying to hire one, or things they should look out for? Because we all know that, and you said it earlier, one of the biggest problems is you hire a moving company, it's like getting the cable company to come out to your house.
Correct.
Well, they'll be there between 12 and 4, and they show up at 5:30.
Exactly.
You know, so what are the things that people should look out for, and some of the things questions they should ask?
Most definitely. A couple things that I can point out for sure are definitely look out for the reputation. There has to be a presence online. Definitely have at
Google
least a
reviews.
website, social media, some form of reviews.
Yeah.
Because ourselves, we're for some reason we can't get ourselves on Google. We're working on that.
Okay.
But we've got reviews through our Facebook, and that's attached to our website as well. But yeah, so the main thing I would say is look out for an online presence or any social presence where you can identify the company that you're actually speaking to.
If they're online, they can be vetted.
Correct.
If they're not
Yes,
online,
sir.
you can't vet them. So how are you going to know whether or not they're a good company or not,
Exactly.
or if they
Yes,
even
sir.
exist,
Correct.
for that matter? But you guys are. I know that companies in any industry that are successful and around, they have a logo, they have a slogan, they have their company name and all that stuff and a website. But you guys realized really early in the inception of this company that you need to do that. I mean, there's your logo right there.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say that young people like you wouldn't know to do that, but you guys realized early on that if you didn't, it was going to be detrimental to the growth of your business.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And honestly, I can probably, like, as I can probably answer that and give the reasoning as to why that is, and it's simply because me and my brother, we honestly don't come from a background where like we have someone who can support us whenever we don't have our own financial stuff going on or making our own money. We never have had that. So we simply know that as soon as you start to visualize and see something that are based off certain actions and you don't like the outcome, you must change it.
Exactly.
And you must change it fast,
Not
especially
complain
if
about
you don't
it.
have a corporation paying you.
Yeah.
If it's simply based off the work we do, that the money's that's going to come in our pockets, we know nothing's going to change if we don't change something.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where it all comes to, do you really want to own a business or not? Because it all falls on you. And to some people, they like the reliability of having a steady paycheck and a corporation that's going to pay them every week. Some people don't like that, and they like their faith to be, where they're going to be in life be determined simply on the work they put in. And that's the boat we're in.
And to be honest with you, that's kind of like the situation that Shannon and myself are in, because we're both commission-based.
Exactly.
So we can make as much money as we want to. It depends on how much work we're going to put into it and how much we want to deal with it. So, you know, people ask me all the time, you know, why do you put so much into what you do? Why are you so busy? Why is your calendar so full? Well, my answer is always because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be able to make the money that I want to make, and I wouldn't be able to make more money. I mean, everybody knows the real estate market right now is not probably number 2 in the worst market we've ever had. I mean, it's down. And I had a mortgage company friend asked me the other day, he goes, Kevin, why are you still so busy when the market's down? You have to be. When the market's down, you do twice as much work. Exactly. When it's not down, you do less because you're dealing with all the business. And he just looked at me like, well, I never thought about it that way. I said, that's why you're slow. You know, it's a mindset thing.
It really is.
You know,
it really is.
It can not be a great environment, but it's what you make of it. You know,
I agree 100%.
I really believe that half of people's failures is because of what's in their head, and they just don't know how to change that. You know, and everybody's different. I mean, everybody's different, but you gotta get up every day, and you gotta just put your boots on like everybody else and get out there and do it. And you guys have seemed to have figured out the formula, and you did it at a young age. So my guess, and I'm not a visionary person or whatever, but my guess is that you probably are going to be able to retire before you're 45 years old.
I was just gonna say that it's funny you say that because that's literally, we say 35.
Our goal is 35.
Yeah, we say 35, but obviously we might be overly ambitious, but better to be overly ambitious than not ambitious at all.
Well, you can adjust.
Correct.
Agreed.
Agreed. And even if it is 45, that's a great deal. I'll take it.
It's 20 years under what everybody else retires
I'll
at.
take it.
Yeah.
And also to add to that, to add to your point of it's slow season, do twice as much as work to do it when business is good. I also simply just see it as if you don't do it now, you will have to do it later. And maybe that factors in more so because we're still so young.
Yeah.
But that's one of the main ways I see it is if we don't hustle now and put in, like you said, double the work now, you're going to have to put double the work in later when it's even harder.
And it's going to be too late.
Exactly.
So the way I look at it is I might be working twice as hard right now, but when the market does adjust itself back, I'm going to reap the rewards because everybody's going to know I'm out there. Everybody's going to know who I am. I've been in everybody's face for the last 6 months or a year.
Yes,
So when business picks back up, I'm going to be the first person they think of. And that doesn't mean I'm going to get all the title business, but I'm going to get title business from people that weren't using me before this happened.
Yes, sir.
You know, I had 33 agents downstairs in the conference room this morning. Okay. Half of the room has sent me a contract in the last year. So it's just about getting out there and being visible, for you guys, being visible in the moving industry, in the moving world. You know, are there moving industry trade shows and things like that you can attend?
Trade shows, not that I've heard of.
There's like moving summits, like they do if you're an owner of a moving company, they have like summits, but those are like the ones we would like to go to. Those are like tens of thousands of dollars per ticket, which we're not at the stage we feel like financially where we can drop that amount of money on one event.
Right.
Even though I'm sure the amount of knowledge and education you get from it is worth the money. It's just
Well,
We're not
I
at
mean,
that
And the
point yet.
connections.
Exactly.
our old boss used to drop $50,000 to get somebody else's tutelage. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's what it is. What is it about your companies, as we start to wrap this up? What is it about your moving company that you want everybody out there to know, and also remind everybody that you specialize in working with real estate agents?
Correct.
But what is it about Made Easy Moving that you want everybody to know that makes you guys different?
You want to take it? I'll take it.
Yeah, I can
matter.
take it.
We can both do one.
Yeah, we can both make a quick point. For me, the main takeaway I would like for the listeners, the viewers, to have about Made Easy Moving is that not only do we treat your move as a job, but we treat it as if it is truly our move. Whenever we get on your property and we go through, from the moment we get on your property, we don't touch anything until you've specifically told us, okay, this is what I want. We make an inventory and we go through and we wrap and we pad everything. We've had customers tell us, you're going to wrap that? Yes, because we simply just, not only do we want to avoid having any stress about, oh, is this okay? Is this that? We want to show and prove to the customer that no matter what it is, we have the utmost care for it. We treat it like it is ours.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
What
And
about
then,
you?
yeah, and then on another note, like we've been stressing since the beginning of this interview, and mainly the reason we started our own business to begin with is communication. I can confidently tell you that from the moment you reach out for a quote or are even interested in just asking what services we provide, that we will be like in the best communication that you have ever had from a moving company in any of your prior experiences, and that I can say confidently.
You guys
So, yeah.
do what you say you're going to do? You show up on time?
Oh yeah, we don't even do, like you said earlier, show up between 1 and 4. No, we don't do that. We tell you a specific time and we're there. If it's any more than 10 minutes late, we start giving you discounts after that, and we never show up late because
Awesome.
we don't show up late. That's not what we do.
That's kind of unusual, guys. So
Especially in this industry, yes, and we like to be that. We like to hold ourselves to that standard.
so tell everybody what the name of the company is and the phone number.
Yes, sir. So again, we're Made Easy Moving. Number is 346-639-4111.
And then if you would tell everybody what your email address is and your website address and social media platforms.
Yeah, so our social media platforms, we are currently on Instagram. We are on Facebook as well. We have a LinkedIn. We don't have TikTok or YouTube yet. I'm working on that. I'm actually the one who does all the social media. We do have a Yelp as well. Our website is madeeasymoving.org, and then our email is basically it's twin. It's madeeasymoving at the website, madeeasymoving.org.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Give them the phone number one more time.
Yes,
phone
sir.
number.
One more time. Phone number is 346-639-4111. Give us a call anytime you need any moving services. We provide free in-person quotes. We're ready to help y'all out.
And if you're a real estate agent, these are the guys that you need to call. So if you're looking for a good moving company, I personally haven't used you guys yet, but based on our relationship and how you guys carry yourself and how you started and all that good stuff, they are going to be the one I call when I do need to move. I can guarantee you that. So great guys, great story. And I don't know too many entrepreneurial companies that started out this young and are already as successful as you guys are. So check them out, Made Easy Moving. So I want to thank you guys for being on the podcast.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
We'll definitely have you on again in 2024. I want to
Yes,
thank
sir.
Shannon Geer for being on the podcast from Remax Fine Properties. I am Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. And again, I couldn't do it without Jennifer Smitis, Caitlin Kornick, Devaney Devon, Winnie Santana, and our newest escrow officer that speaks Spanish, Adriana Alzate. So you guys have a great weekend. This podcast, episode number 30, will be available next week. Until then, you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.